2 doors down, a watchman lifts his hammer. One nail, then another. A red cross bleeds across the wood. And just like that, an entire family is locked inside for 40 days. Thomas Whitcomb counts the houses between his door and theirs. There are exactly 2. It's September 1665, Cripplegate Parish, London. 7,000 are dying a week. Thomas has heard the searchers are coming his street by Thursday. That gives him 72 hours, 3 days, to get his wife and daughter out before their own door gets marked. His wife Anne doesn't argue. Her sister keeps a farm near Woodstock, 60 miles west, plague-free for now. They have £11 saved, a 9-year-old daughter named Mary, and no idea that leaving London without paper is now a crime punishable by turning back. Or worse. To pass through the city gates, you need a certificate of health, signed by a parish clerk, proving no sickness in your house. Problem is, the clerk on 4th Street already suspects the family next door. One wrong word from him, and Thomas's whole plan dies on paper. Thomas finds a different clerk 3 streets over, a man named Josiah Pratt, known for a loose pen and a tighter purse. 4 shillings buys a signature, 6 buys silence. Thomas hands over nearly a week's wages for a piece of paper that might not survive first inspection. Lord Mayor's watchmen aren't the only danger. Neighbors get paid 2 shillings for reporting families who sneak out sick. Thomas waits until dark to visit Pratt's house, hood up, coins wrapped in cloth so they don't jingle. One overheard conversation and the plan ends before it starts. Back home, Anne packs in silence. Bread, dried beef, Mary's one good dress, and £11 sewn into the lining of Thomas's coat. They leave the furniture. They leave the loom that's fed them for 12 years. By midnight, everything they own fits into 2 canvas sacks. Here's the problem nobody warns you about. The city gates shut at sundown, sharp, no exceptions. Miss it, and you're locked inside with the sickness for one more night. One more roll of the dice. Thomas checks the church clock. It's already past 4 in the afternoon. They reach Aldgate at 5:30. The guard studies the certificate too long, turns it sideways, holds it to a torch. "This ink," he says, "is wrong." Pratt used the incorrect seal. Thomas's stomach drops. The gate is right there, 20 feet of stone between them and freedom. They're turned back into the dying city with the sun going down. Thomas has maybe 90 minutes before nightfall. Somewhere in Cripplegate is a man named Edward Hollis, who forges passes for merchants desperate enough to pay double. Thomas has never met him. He has 40 minutes to find him. Worse news waits at home. A parish watchman now stands outside their own front door, not to seal it, not yet, but to watch it. Someone reported a cough from inside 2 nights ago. If that watchman sees them all leave together with sacks, the house gets marked tonight. They split up. Anne and Mary slip out the back through a shared yard at 3 a.m., dressed like laundry women. Thomas pays a carter named Robert Fenn 4 shillings to hide him under sacks of wool on his cart. By dawn, they're all supposed to meet outside Aldgate. Supposed to. Hollis's forged certificate cost Thomas everything he had left. 8 shillings, his wedding ring as collateral. At the gate, a different guard this time, younger, tired from a night shift. He glances at the paper for 3 seconds. 3 seconds that decide whether this family lives free or dies locked in. The guard waves them through without a word. No bribe needed this time, just exhaustion, and a signature good enough to pass a bored man's eye. Thomas doesn't breathe until they're 40 feet past the gate. Anne is already crying. Mary asks why everyone's so happy about walking. Freedom, it turns out, has its own price. Villages along the road to Woodstock have posted their own guards, armed with pitchforks, not muskets, but just as willing to turn Londoners away. 3 times in 2 days, the Whitcombs are refused entry to towns, forced to sleep in open fields. On the 3rd night, they reach Anne's sister's farm near Woodstock. She won't let them inside the house. Not yet. They sleep in the barn for 6 days while she watches for fever, for the telltale swelling under the arm. Only on day 7 does she open her door. Here's what the history books don't put on the postcard. Thousands of Londoners fled exactly like this in 1665, and dozens of villages that had never seen the plague suddenly did. Historians still argue over how many rural outbreaks trace back to a single family's cart on a country road. Back in Cripplegate, the family 2 doors down, the ones sealed in on day 1, never made it out. Parish records list all 5 dead within 19 days. Their watchman, the same one who stood outside the Whitcombs' door, caught the sickness 3 weeks later and died in October. The Whitcombs survived. Parish records in Oxfordshire show a Thomas and Anne Whitcomb baptizing a second daughter in 1667, back in London, back in the same rebuilt street, after the fire cleared what the plague left standing. Mary lived to be 71, one of the lucky ones, twice over. One thing the records do confirm. Edward Hollis, the forger who saved their lives with a false signature, was found dead in his own locked house 11 days after the Whitcombs escaped. Sealed in by the same watchman he'd spent that autumn helping others outrun.